What up, everybody? It's Ponter here, and today we've got a special game. It's a pub game on Xmas, and it's special for probably like a couple of reasons. One, I get to play on USSR, which I never do. I always end up on USSA or USA, and it's well known that the USA is the worst side. And you can see here there's some reluctance to join. And let's just look at these teams. We've got, Kickapoo's going Inf, Bravo is going Air, which is going to be interesting. And then we got this Mike G, who's a new player. I think he's like a sergeant, pretty new. Like he didn't even know how to change roles, but he's a good guy and he plays pretty well. And on the other team, they also have this guy's a completely new player, and then Deemer and good player and Clark. So I would say our team is probably stronger. The issue is good players playing air on, and when this guy plays air on 4v4s, it's just brutal. And of course I'm playing support, so I'm gonna have to deal with this shit, and it's just painful. So like, watch this. I'm trying to manage this cap over here, and then boom, run right into his split air. Like it was only two choppers, but he had the line of sight advantage on me, and I was not really looking. I was too busy trying not to cap that without everybody. But this is basically going to be the story of the game, is him splitting and fucking us repeatedly. But in the meantime, the other story of this game is this right here, and this is what always happens in shitty pubs. All it takes, especially with smaller games, all it takes is one noob or just stupid person to take the wrong role. And so they, in a 4v4, they have two support players, absolutely terrible. So they have no inf. And Diamer, he could switch to inf and let this guy continue to play support, but this guy is probably not going to play support properly, even against Bravo Air, which is not very good. It's enough to fuck them up, especially against a noob. And this guy will like already noob and stuff. It's gonna be brutal. So that's a huge disadvantage right off the bat. But we have our own difficulties. Mainly they locked us down. Like they put a lot of stuff over here. And then again, good player. Like watch this. Like this should. I couldn't even kill one chopper there. Like, I kind of botched it a little bit. I should have pop smoked sooner, because he had a line of sight and could queue up those missiles. And yeah, it's just so tough to deal with good player in these 4v4s. Very painful. And the only saving grace is that we completely control this. So let's talk about the balance on this map. As we, there's some more of my shit dying. People say that this map is stacked in favor of USSR, and I think it's mainly because USSR can take the town and hold it a lot easier. I mean, it's just like these 2 points, so 66% of the CP it's much more close to the USSR side, and then USA has to cross this damn bridge. Meanwhile, and it's also especially hard as USA to take the town when you have your entire team up here. Like, look at all this overcommittal. Especially, that's interesting. Clark's APCs. This guy's like mixed blob. Kick just misses it though. So when you're in this situation with a team just massively overcommitting here, you gotta push this side. But they're pretty on top of dropping on it. And good players, air is a constant threat, or air is of course not going to be able to clear it because they're dumb. Like what is this even? I don't understand. Just go there, please. And we're fortunate, and here's the crapshoot when it comes to pubs. This guy Mike G is great. He's throwing down sick TA. Like, he doesn't know enough to like do drops or anything, but we can't expect that. But he drops some sick TA and he listens. Like, I can't protect him past this line because of good player. Like, watch good player, he's lurking. absolutely terrifying. The arty comes crashing down. A bad player would overextend and just drive forward to kill shit. But this guy retreats, and then he pops smoke, I think, and stays in the smoke. He still dies, and I lose all my AA. But we're gonna see this. I'm gonna be telling him to cease fire a lot, which is my like signal to not go forward. I don't know if people actually understand that, but I constantly ask him to pull back, and he listens most of the time, and will survive against good players' air to some extent. And here's me, begging for air support. Like, we can get you line of sight on this note. Like, he's right beside a para. You could pop that guy with 2 missiles, no problem. Easy peasy, and kill the fort, and we can get the cap. But yeah, and as a helicopter player, if you see like they're doing against Diamer, especially, he likes to do these drops like with jeeps. So jeep drops are so vulnerable, but they can still cap and they can still fort. So you have to go and split a chop when you see a drop coming down, and you can see them coming from pretty far away. As a chopper player, just detach one chopper, send them over here, kill the jeeps before they can fort. So that's what I'm always asking for. And look at that. That was a sick TB. I mean, you're only TBing a noob and Clark, which isn't amazing, but still pretty good. And meanwhile, Kickapoo's working on it up here. So, we have a huge advantage. Their team kind of made an error, and it's not really anybody's fault that they went the wrong role, other than the noob, and he doesn't know better. And you don't want to be an asshole and just tell somebody to like switch roles in pubs a lot of the times. But yeah, so they're in a disadvantage. And here's the thing. If we lose, I'm going to be pretty devastated, right? Because I've been building this narrative for the past few months. Just watch this shit. This guy survives 27 health. Fuck you, good player. I've been building this narrative that it's basically impossible to win as USA. Against even teams, and these teams aren't that even. Oh yeah, and watch this. Where's your flares? So I've been building this narrative. Like, if we lose this game, it's going to be embarrassing. That's all I'm saying. So the stakes are relatively high, even though it's a pub. Pubs are trash. I understand. It's imbalanced. I understand. But if we lose this, it's going to be bad. And here, once again, you gotta pull back. I have no AA, I just have no AA up here. This would be a nice TA. Nice kill, and like Kickapoo's right on top of it. I'm on top of it too. Boom, that's some delicious score. Yeah, that's all we really care about, is getting on these caps together so we can score high. And inexplicably, somebody blows this bridge. I don't know why. It's a pretty weedy move. I would like to know who decided to do that shit. Overextending to kill AA is probably not worth it. Yeah, and I say Bravo keeps telling him to do ground assaults up here, but there's no AA. It's just, so you should not do that. So here's like a high level tip, is like, don't listen to advice from anybody. Like, figure out if they're smart or not. Because yeah, Bravo just kept telling them to attack and defend this point. Like, you don't even want to defend this point in a pub. You just want to let them decap it constantly so you can milk them. Here, and watch this. Good player scanning. Disgusting good player. Absolutely disgusting. Throwing scans down. That's brutal. Here they've decapped this, and this is the path for victory for USA is three things. You gotta push town, you gotta hold the farm, and you gotta contest this. If you can do those 3 things, for most of the game, you're gonna win. And again, I tell him to pull back. He gets the cap, which is great, but he retreats, and he's even going. Look at this. He's even going backwards. Amazing. And we're thanking each other all the time, just patting each other on the back. So this is a non-toxic, and that was a nice Nice non-toxic relationship between the support and armor. It's really what you need. And this fucking like this split chopper of good player, like look, he's got 2-star choppers. It's just so hard, and like this thing murders Inf. Kit gets the cap though, but dies for it. There's my whiff of a TB, and if you notice, they have an they're RDing now. I don't know why players like they gravitate towards the USA RD. Like that's like a double noob move. I don't get it. I also don't get this. Like it's a pub game, man. Why are you blowing the bridge? Like you're not getting any score doing this. And like it's not like we're getting overrun. Like we want them to come here and decap so we can get score. And again, look at this guy. He pulls back. Amazing. He doesn't get out of the heavy airstrike though. But I get out of the heavy airstrike, so that's nice. I saw that shit come in. But here, again, they're doing drops over here. You know. Again, I'm begging for air support. Does Bravo go? I don't know. But no, he doesn't go there. You know, we have drops coming down on this. Like, we need air support. I guess we clear it with clusters, though. That's nice. But air support would be nice for line of sight. You know, even just detaching one chopper. I just watched this tragedy unfold. Like, I realized that this bridge has been blown. You know, just unimaginable that it has been. And I want to rescue Kickapoo's inf from the air rape, which is standard. Again, Bravo is asking to overextend tanks. Luckily, the air is too busy killing Kickapoo. So the bridge delays me, and he just kills it. And watch this. Line of sight disappears. So he has no scout, but I have no vision either. Oh, and there's a scout. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Lose 2 AA. I think I kill 1 chopper. And meanwhile, I'm getting killed by this arty. Brutal. And there's still 2 choppers fucking us up over here. You know, this is very painful. And this guy, again, listening to terrible advice from Bravo. Even though, like, you just gotta look on the map and see how many AA is around my tanks right now. It's just one medium AA. Like, we're just lucky that good player is so busy beating the shit out of the flanks that he doesn't bother killing us in town. This is like a Fugazi position. And yeah, Kickapoo's asking for AA there, but I can't, like, I don't have enough AA on the map to cover. Like, I can't even protect the middle, let alone like the middle and a flank or 2. So yeah, you're on your own. You need reg inf. You need a shit ton of reg inf. And eventually I think I will detach a heavy AA, but not for a while. But Bravo does something right. He does play a little bit of interference here. Chases off good player and lets us get the cap, which is fantastic. And yeah, Clark's actually doing drops, which is a miracle. And yeah, this is the big disadvantage for this team. They don't have an inf player. They can't do drops. And, you know, Clark is not... Like, if Clark was a good armor player, he could probably... And, like, was fed enough TA, he could probably keep up with Kickapoo. But, both of those things aren't happening. And, yeah. If they wanted to win, they would sit on this point and decap it. But, yeah, again, look, like, we're not overextending. We're doing the smart thing. We're staying back. And just getting RD'd for trouble. But we haven't beat them yet, and this is where I start getting scared, because this is what, like, Demor does the decap, and suddenly they have a huge tick advantage, and they control both flanks. Like, good player has shut down Kickapoo. You know, Wally leaves. He's disgusted. Another great cap by Mike G. I get on that too. You know, so nice. And look again, he pulls back. You know, awesome. But here comes good player, plug walking in, kills 1 AA. You know, my other AA is trying to chase him off. we have some forts that kind of provide cover, but they keep getting killed by TA, and they start doing drops. Like, okay, the support player is doing drops. That's great, and he's dying to Bravo Air. And look at this passivity. You just YOLO into that shit. There's no AA there. Like, I don't understand. Instead, he retreats, and then watch this. I love this. He pops flares against the medium AA. Yeah, just gets annihilated. Oh my god! Like, you could have killed, and then ugh, just baffling. This is baffling. Like, I'm gonna ignore all the soft targets, all the rep tanks, the jeeps, and the ranked up RD, and just charge and fail against medium AA. Beautiful. That's a chef's kiss moment right there. Thank you, Bravo, for that. And then Stonks joins the game. So this could be another deciding factor. Like, and he joins USA, which is correct, I think. Like, you look, this is the weaker team. And oh yeah, here we go. I finally, fuck you, gut. Absolutely destroyed. Yeah, make your excuses. Wrecked and shook. But yeah, Stonks joins, and they're still beating us. And like, our control of town is tenuous. I burned a TB. Most of my TB cooldown is still ticking, so I just threw a laser guided bomb on that shit just for the lulz. Didn't realize that Bravo was coming in to help, because we really need to hold this. Like, we've given up on farm. Like, we haven't attacked that once. Like, we can't really expect this guy. Like, this guy just has to hold town. Like, we can't expect him to do anything else. I would also say, like, medium tanks are not the right choice on this map. And this overextension, that's a big mistake. Medium tanks are bad for the work that this guy's trying to get him to do. Like, just get light tanks and heavies. There's no inf on the map, so there's no point at all. And I'm going for the cap here, but I didn't realize this fucked situation. Like, and we've got no line of sight on the flank. Like, you need drops in these woods. You need regulars in these woods. Even though it's burnt, like, you just gotta find a spot. And I finally detach an AA over here, but things are not looking good. And now we've got Stonks coming in as inf, like, filling the critical gap, although I drop RD right on him immediately. But those trucks are all carrying ATs, and I think I did this to him in a game, or to somebody recently. And like, just filling this town with ATs is just a massive pain in the ass, especially against a team that doesn't know how to deal with them, and they get the cap, so they have 2 minutes to beat us. And again, we're getting RD'd. Oh, that's fun. Do I even notice? Nope. I'm such a noob. And here comes Good Player to wipe me out. I love it. So much fun playing support against Good Player in these games. And yeah, all we need to do to win is decap this and hold it and just slow down the burn. That's all we need. Like, I'm gonna watch this fail. I'm gonna expend everything, killing one AA, and then I guess he fucked up his scans or something, or it didn't have missiles, and he gets air to air instead. The easier thing would have been to kill these ATs in all these goddamn buildings. Like, those buildings get popped really fast by air, and it would have helped a lot. Or, not getting air to aired. So many opportunities to not suck. And yeah, things are looking dicey. They got a huge tick on us. I'm waiting for this to get owned, because I think USA teams really need to kill this shit fast. Like, you need to attack this and then attack town. You kind of like 1-2 punch, like, because then the reinforcements go over here and they get slowed down. But excellent decapping by us. And there's some desperate Desperate attempts at decap here. They get the cap. Here comes the clusters. So this is a little belated, I would say, and insufficient clearing. Actually, definitely sufficient clearing. We get TD'd. 10 seconds. Kickapoo gets the decap. And, tough shit USA. USSR wins. And, it wasn't a fair game. They didn't have an F player. This guy scored high, but he definitely cost them the game. And Stonks couldn't come in fast enough to kind of tip the scales. So even though we had a useless air player compared to a good player, like look at the score difference. We had a great armor player for his skill level, and then Kick kind of just carried us by fighting on the flanks. And yeah, that's a win on USSR finally. Like I always end up on USA for some reason, and I always lose. So this was nice to win, even though it was way too close. So it is possible for USA to win. Don't lose hope, but clearly it's pretty difficult. So anyways, thanks guys. Catch you later.